Hello, how are you tonight? How are you today? I'm Dr. Murray Susser. I work in West LA. I have a phone number, it's 310-479-8909, and I have an email, sussermd@gmail.com. And why am I giving you all this? Well, I've been working in medicine for 40 years. And I was one of the first of the holistic doctors. When I started doing holistic medicine, that is, using natural methods for treating people, I was an outcast in the medical community. I was considered to be quacky and quackery, and I was considered to be even dangerous by some doctors, even though what I was using for therapies were things like vitamins and minerals and herbal substances, and people would get better and would have virtually no side effect. And when they did have a side effect, it was always beneficial. I remember once, very quickly, I had a patient who came to me with arthritis, and I treated the arthritis. I was just getting started in those days using nutrients like vitamin C and calcium and magnesium, and anyhow, she came back after a month, and usually after a month I would have some benefit in the patient. I said, well, how's your arthritis? She said, the same. I said, anything? No change at all? No change in pain? No change. Everything's the same. She said, but something did change. I said, what's that? She said, my motion sickness. I said, motion sickness? Well, that doesn't sound very interesting. She says, no, don't minimize it. I've been terribly motion sick my whole life. I mean crippling motion sickness. If I got in a car, on a streetcar, on a bus, on a plane, no matter what I would get, it limited my life terribly because I had a terrible time traveling. I would always get sick. And this month, I stopped getting sick. And I could travel anywhere now and not have any motion sickness. And I said, well, I don't know how long that'll last, but it's interesting that you have that. And it's fascinating because I had no idea you had this motion sickness. We didn't talk about that. So this was a side effect of a nutritional therapy. Ultimately, her arthritis did get better as well, which is nice. But the motion sickness was fascinating to me. So what I do now, I consider distinctive for me. The distinction is that I select nourishing things to give to people, and nourishing treatments, and nourishing at all levels, and nourishing at the level of food, nourishing at the level of herb, nourishing at all levels. And if I do that well enough, I get an excellent result. I achieve mastery in the case of the person's condition. So people's conditions can get better with that kind of mastery. And when I do that, I feel that I've truly served people. If I can take a person who is on simple drugs, even things like aspirin or Tylenol or ibuprofen, so these simple drugs are not so simple. They can cause great danger. In fact, over 3,000 people in the United States die each year from aspirin. Aspirin used properly, if there is such a thing. So aspirin now they're using to treat all sorts of things that they didn't use it for 20, 30, 40 years ago, and it's been around for 100 years. But aspirin can be dangerous. Vitamin C? No, hardly dangerous. Vitamin E? Probably not dangerous. The only way I've heard that vitamin E can kill you is if you drown in it. So I consider taking a person off any kind of drug, be it over-the-counter or prescription, and getting them equal or better symptomatic relief in whatever has been plaguing them, I consider that service. And service is the highest form of satisfaction. If I can serve somebody, then I feel satisfied, and they certainly feel satisfied. Thank you.